Okay, I'm measuring my valve stems now, so I get some accurate readings of what the hell is going on here. These are varying slightly. What a shocker. So it's 337.8, I think. Yep. Yeah. So you measure a valve, you measure it over here, thousandths. So we're on just under 13, which is your raw numbers, and the veneer scale you're over here on 8, so it's 337 and 8/10 is what it is. Because you're at 25 is your 0, 10 makes 35, we had 2 more, plus the 8. 337.8. And you write on your valve. And you go to your cheat sheet, you find the ones for Sportster. You got Evo, you got Row, you got Pan, Shovel. So we're missing our Sportster one. Ah, Sportster. So I got a bunch of numbers pre-filled out. So this is a 333, yeah, 337.8. It's an exhaust valve. So that's an intake, no, it's exhaust EX. Is that IM? Geez, who wrote that? That is crappy ass writing is what that is. There's exhaust right here. What number we want? 337.8. 337.8's right there. You go across, that would be a negative 40. So you write negative 40. That's our key number. This one's 3382. So you got 338. 3382 is a minus 36. Minus 36. This is an intake, 3088. Intake 3088 right there, minus 23. 23. This is 3087. 24. Minus 24. This valve stem was tapered, so it went smaller. Smaller means this number needs to go higher. So you put plus a little extra on there. I don't want to put it right there. Plus over there. That means it could be 25, almost. Yeah, it could be 25. 24 is our tight spot. You always want to go by the tightest spot. In this case, that valve was looser on this end, I think. I forget. One way or the other. Okay, so there's our numbers. Now that's coming off stock clearances of 1.4 thousandths on the intake stem and 1.9 thousandths on the exhaust stem. Those are key numbers, remember. Now, let me pull out our dial bore gauges here. This one sucks, it's made wrong. $600 junk. When your pivot pin here and the rubbing block are not in line with each other, which means they're off the two pins, instead of being like this or like that, to get your hole to be the correct size, instead of being the indicator being straight up and down like this, you have to be like this. When you do that, you can't go through a guide. Junk. Doesn't matter how much you paid for it. That was Miditoyo. supposed to be the best. Not quite. Okay, so what pins are up? Okay, right now we have our 2 small pins up. So this one here appears to be 5/16. This is 11/32. 2 different stem sizes. Okay, these are standards, bore gauges. So we don't need a 3/8 because we're not doing pan head parts, shovel head. We're doing 11/32 and 5/16. So I'm going to take the 11/32 first. So you stick this in a hole and it should be 0 on the gauge. So you look at your number and make sure it's a 0. Weather conditions affect all of this stuff a lot. So looks like we're pretty close, but we're slightly off. Get it right in the middle. Looks like I'm about 1/2 a tenth off. Let's go ahead and correct that. So you got to hold the circle right in the middle. See how the gauge is 0. Whoop. Has to be inside the hole when you're doing this. There we go. See, I'm jiggling it up here a little bit, trying to find the sweet spot. Okay, this one's been set. So it changed by about 3/4 of a tenth. That'd be a bunch of zeros in front of 7.75. That'd be 4 zeros. So that's 75 millionths of an inch error. Sounds impressive, doesn't it? It's just 3/4 of a tenth, no big deal. Okay, this one here is the 5/16. Okay, see how this one here is over a tenth off? Maybe 1/10. Taking it out a couple times. Keep correcting until you get where you want it to be. Take it out, put it back in. Check it again. So you see here 0. See, that's got to be kind of in the middle someplace. Okay, so we got this one pretty good. This one's like 12 tenths off. Oh, not 12 tenths. 1.2 tenths. Numbers do matter in machining. You have to adjust these every time you use them because the atmospheric conditions changes every day, every few minutes. And if you hold on to these too long, guess what? They get bigger. You gotta cool off. Clean the bench off too. So, you gotta make sure everything you work on is one temperature, not 15 different temperatures. If everything's at one temperature and it's all adjusted and set at one temperature, your accuracy will be very, very good. If your temperatures vary by 10 degrees, they'll move. When you're working the tenths, if I breathe on it, it can move it, and it probably will. So you want to make sure everything's stable at one temperature. In this case, it's called room temperature, because that's what everything in this room is at right now. Except me, I'm hot. Now once I start honing on stuff and grinding on stuff, it gets hot. You got to let it cool off. Okay, now these valve stems, you can see how I did the seats here. Now that things have got clean, you can see the 2 different angles in there and everything. Here's the intake valve. You can see how it's done the same way. Ooh, camera didn't like that, did it? So you can see how it's got 2 different angles on both of these. And when you spin them, they're pretty concentric, which is what you like. You'll see the black move up and down, but the rest of it doesn't. Anyway, that's what you want. And also our stems have been honed too, so they're fairly even, except for that one valve. It's got a couple tenths of taper in it for some reason. Inferior quality. Okay, so now we got our numbers. We got this head over here. we're going to see how good these heads were done. Remember, I didn't do these, so we're going to find out the quality I had done. Okay, we're going to do the intake first. So right now the intake was, what number are we looking for? Minus 24 and minus 23. See, that's why we wrote those down. Now the way you come up with these numbers is people can get really crappy with me because I'm going to show numbers again. Some people want detail, some don't. Okay, this is a 5/16. Does anybody know how many thousands 5/16 is? It's called 312½. 4 digits out. Okay, our valve stem was what size? 308. What clearance we want to run? 1.4. Take all those numbers, and when you add them all together, what do you get? My dial bore gauge needs to be on negative 23. That would be on the negative side of 0, not the positive side, to be the number I want. So it needs to be over here on the negative side. So let's see what we really have. Okay, right now, this is where you're not supposed to show anybody what your quality is because it makes you look like crap. Okay, so as the needle moves around a little bit, that means it's out of, not straight and true. So this one's pretty good. It's only like a 1/10 or so. It's pretty good quality. Size, a little bit on the big size. It's 11 or 12. It's supposed to be 23. We've got an extra thou clearance on this. Now when you're doing hot rod racing stuff, you want a little extra clearance in your valves. So I'm not too bad about being 1 thou bigger. I run 3.5 thou clearance on a lot of my bikes on the exhaust. The intake's about 1 thou less than that. When you turn a lot of RPM, you got to have some clearance in these things. So this one here has a little extra thou or so on it, about 11/10 extra. So instead of being 14, we're about 26. So when you put that in there, you're going to have a little bit of jiggle jiggle in here. See, jiggle jiggle. So the harder you run these things, the looser these things need to be, or they're going to stick on you. Also in racing, you don't have time to break stuff in. You take it, you run it, you warm it up once or twice, and then you make a run. And you don't baby it either, you get on it. Alright, so that was a little bit looser than I want to do. I'd like to see that more like around 15 instead of 11 on the 10th number, but yeah, close enough. Okay, this one here, hope we can see it. It's about the same number. So they did a pretty good job on the quality of the honing and stuff. It just is slightly off on the number that I wanted. Now when I honed this here, I gained probably a little bit on there too. Probably gained 3 or 4/10 maybe. Hard to tell, I don't measure them beforehand. You would have gained a little bit of clearance. So that's some of the error, is me doing that. Okay, so right now we got 1/10 difference in these. Measure these both together. See if I can see which one's going to be what. This one's slightly tighter than this one, barely. We're talking less than a 1/10 difference, so this one's supposed to be 24. So that goes over there. This one's 23. I'm going to put it on this one. They're so close it doesn't really matter. With this clearance it really doesn't matter which one you do, but this would be the front one, so I'm going to mark front on this. Put a little F right there so I know which one it is. Like I said, it isn't really going to matter if you change them. You're not going to notice a 1/10 difference when you're this loose. Doesn't matter. But we're going to make it that way just to make sure. Okay, so that's it for that one. Now, the exhaust. Yeah, it's great on my table. Okay, now we're going to check our exhaust. So that's this other indicator. Bore gauge. Okay, this one here. So This one's moving around more than I'd like. It's got 1 thou movement, which is not too good. And it's between 30 and 40. We want 40. And we want 36. So on this one, the size is a little tight. This one's a lot straighter. This one's only moving a tenth or two, a couple tenths. It's around 36 or so right now, 37. This way over here, it's 38 at the very top. Okay, so this is our looser one here. So this is going to get the one, the valve that needs to be looser, which is our 36 number. This is our 40 number. Now I want to make these a little bit looser because I don't want them to be too tight. So we're going to loosen these things up a thou like we did on the other ones. So that'll make these a little bit looser than what they are right now. Right now they feel a little snug to me anyway. Can you hear the jiggle jiggle? Not very much clearance. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hone these, which will fix that one that's bad. It'll straighten it out quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and hone these and get the numbers we want. So this one needs to go down to about 26. I'm going to put an extra thou in it, and this one here needs to be at 30. So that should get us pretty close to where we want to be on these things. And I might mix these up a little bit, we'll see. Okay, I think this was the... Which one's the worst one? I think it was that one there. Yeah, this one over here is our worst one. Yeah. So this is definitely going to get to this one here. Okay, so I'm going to hone both of these out and see what we get. So let's go set it up and we'll be back. Okay, here's the hone we're going to use. I use these real long ones so it'll clear the valve pocket in the head without a problem. Alright. We're going to use our fine stone, not the coarse one, because the honed guys are already honed out already. So find the numbers on these things. Okay, this one's 87. This one should be the coarser one. You can see the number on this one. It's in there somewhere. Still 20 something. Yeah, light sucks. That's the 85. Yeah. Alright, couldn't read it. So this one's 67, this one's 85. This is the fine one, this is the coarse one. Now if you look at the stones, when you clean the oil off them, this one here should be a little bit finer looking than this one next to it. But they're close. But there's a difference. So make sure you put the correct one in there. This one here is the 87. 85 actually. Okay. Problem is that's not the right stone. It's pretty loose in here. Yeah, that's the right one, I think. Yep. It's too loose, didn't fit. This is for the smaller stones. Big stones. What happened to my stones? Somebody didn't put them away last time, it looks like. Now, these are the correct ones, they fit better. Somebody is not putting their tools away when they're done with them. laying down in the goo. All right. Different numbers, different ones. They make these in different sizes. Okay, so there's your two numbers there. See them? Let's find one. Coarse one. Real coarse one. I'm going to use one of these two. These two are different than that one. It's a different one again. I can't even get my right stuff today. These are more small ones. But, well, they're working. Okay, so these are both 97, which is really fine. Looks like they're both about equally worn out. I'll use this one. Okay. So make it long because I go through the valve pocket area here. Adjust your diameter. Stones get close to being worn out, they don't like staying in. That's a problem. Okay, which head is this? This is the front head. Front head is the one that stone don't want to stay in there. It's worn out. Yep. Won't stay in, you can't hone. That one's junk. Which means the other one's going to be junk because they have the same problem. Nope. Which one's this one? This is the 57. Nope. Eyes are getting bad. Okay, that one's staying put. Still got half the stone on the damn thing. Going from both directions, straight. Try not to caulk the head while it's in there because that makes the guide out around. Makes it barrel shaped. Okay, this is the one we're looking for 26-ish to 28. So now 3 to 3.5 instead of 3 to 4 like it was. So we took out half the air right there. Didn't really make it any bigger though. That's a good thing. Making it good round. So straight. See it or not. 28 to 32 looks like. 29 to 31 now. 28, so we got a couple more tenths we can take out easily. We took almost all the bad out. About 28 average. I'm looking for about 26. A few more holes, a few more strokes. About 26, 27, pretty close. Okay, we'll come back after I clean it up and we'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to do the other one now. This is the worst one.